Good morning and welcome to the Hancock Park Referral Network. It's Tuesday, February 16th. Please remember to put on your video, list your name and your category and your Zoom ID. The meeting will end somewhere between 8 and 8:30. Remember, this meeting is being recorded. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see your shiny faces.
Good morning.
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 Cynthia, how about a creed of Litep?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. LaTip is a professional organization of men and women dedicated to the highest standards of competence and service. Our purpose is the exchange of business tips. Members will at all times maintain the highest professional integrity. Each business category is represented by one member only, and conflicts of interest are disallowed.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Next slide. Jim Bloomfield.
A qualified business tip is a company or person who's interested in a specific service or product and is expecting a call from an HPRN member.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. So today we are going to do a breakout session, if you recall from last week, and what we're going to discuss one-on-one. Jimmy, if you can start to try to figure out how to break us out, then we're going to talk about when you get a client or when you get a lead and that lead is interested in your service. What is the first thing that you recommend? What is the first thing you need to see? Okay? What is the first thing that you're going to ask? And we're going to discuss that in the breakouts. And then we're going to come back and we're going to describe to each other what our partner said. Make sense?
Yes.
Questions on that? So you will be your partner's advertiser and narrator when you come back. So make sure you're listening to them. And we're going to do 5 minutes. Let's say 5 minutes each. Okay. So a total of 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back. All right. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions about that? Obviously, that's not the only thing you're going to talk about, but that's the thing we want to hear when you come back about what is the first thing that you in your service are looking for when you get a lead. What's the first thing you are going to ask them to do? All right.
Okay. So just real quick, I've assigned the rooms, and now you may have met with this person before, but this is a little bit different. So again, it's 5 minutes to figure out what Erik said. So room 1, Cynthia and Liberty, and then Jim and John, and then Erik and T will be in the room 3. And I will pop in. I guess I'll pop into room 1 and because I'm the odd one out. So I'll join the 2 ladies. All right. Any questions?
So see you guys in 10 minutes.
All right. So you got 5 minutes each. You'll see the timer in the room. Okay. Have fun, guys. hey,
Liberty,
to meet
we're
you
still
guys
in
here.
here.
Everyone else has a couple minutes before they get bumped out.
Oh, I hear you. Oh, there you are. Okay, we're all together. It's
How's the
lovely to see
doggy?
you.
How's Rocky doing, by the way?
Ah, where is he? You know, his brother's name is Rocky. Harry, say hi.
Oh, he's
How
cute.
big he is.
He's
Harry,
gotten much bigger.
hey.
Oh my gosh.
Say hi.
Oh,
Yeah, he's like,
cutie.
yeah. Oh, we're back. Okay, cool.
Hey, that wasn't long enough.
Yeah. Every time we go into a breakout room, we always get cut off mid-sentence.
Yeah.
It's right when it starts to get good.
Okay. Hey, Eric, I think we should do like 10 minutes for breakout sessions. Like I said,
Wasn't
that's
that was 10 minutes. You mean 10 minutes each?
no, 5 minutes each. That sounded like that was 5 minutes total.
No, that was 10 minutes.
Was that 10 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Maybe we need
Yeah.
20-minute sessions.
Yeah. You could make them longer.
Let's just do an hour.
Someone needs to call the AAA for tea and tip her car back over. Is it just me or is she sideways?
No,
Oh.
she's sideways.
I've
I'm
been talking to
sorry.
her like that for the last 10 minutes and I'm dizzy.
Leisha, we need Leisha on this.
I need
hope
to
you-
get one of
hope you
those
got State Farm.
holders.
You know, it's
I'm-
funny whenever we come back from these breakout sessions, everybody's smiling. Everybody always has such a good time doing these things. So we had a nice talk, T and I hope you guys did too. I guess T and I can start,
Sure.
and I'll start. So when it comes to T, she wants to know, her first thing that she wants you to do is to tell her what is your wish list. She doesn't want to hear first what you think needs to happen or the process you think it needs to go through, or we're going to do this room and then we'll do that room. She wants to know what is the whole wish list so that she can get a full picture of the process or the project, and then she can sort of teach them where to go. For example, you know, they'll tell her that they want to do room by room in maybe the kitchen, and they're not considering the fact that that's going to impact the dining room. And so, you know, they got to think a bigger picture than just the kitchen. Maybe the dining room needs to be included, or just need to think big picture and then plan backwards from there. That about right?
That sounds really good. Thank you, Eric. I hope I can do you some justice.
Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity to do that right now.
Okay. So, Eric, the salesman of the year, he wants to know if you're a buyer or if you're a seller. Let's start with being a buyer. Where do you want to live? No. I'm sorry. Before where do you want to live? Have you spoken to Jimmy Green yet? That's number one. Have you spoken to Jimmy? Because what is the point in shopping if you haven't seen Jimmy Green? Okay, you've seen Jimmy Green. Jimmy Green has done his thing, and now it's time for Eric and the client to get together. Where do you want to live? Show me what your dream home looks like. You know, is it a white picket fence? Does it have a pool in the yard? We don't care necessarily. No, not we don't care. We don't want to focus on if you think you can afford this neighborhood or that neighborhood. We just want to take us into your world. We just want to know where you want to live. So that's how he approaches the buyer. And then also, I'm sorry, the second thing is how far is it going to be away from your place of employment? That's important too. No one wants to do an hour commute if they don't have to. So again, the dream neighborhood and how it's going to affect your lifestyle. Number two, if you're the seller is, do you have a plan? Because you're calling me, you obviously want to sell. What's your plan? Where are you going to? Where are we trying to get you out of, and where are we trying to get you into? Now, there's only a small percentage of those folks who may not have a plan. And then that's when I'll put on my therapist hat or my life coach hat. But if you're calling me, you have a plan to sell, I'm gonna help you sell, but we need to identify the plan. How about that?
Thank you. Love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Can you guys do that for your partners? It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to let you try. So, Liberty
Okay.
and your partner, go.
All right. So Cynthia, she often starts by getting an email of someone who's very panicked. There's always some reason that they're stressed out and they're sending her an email. And what she wants to know initially is information about what their needs are so she can see if she's the right match. She is really wanting to make sure that she is able to match with them with their needs. Otherwise, she's going to find the right person or some kind of information that she can help them, because there really is a lot of, I think, caregiving involved in Cynthia's position. After that, they schedule a 15-minute call, in which case they will end with an action plan. Ideally, this person now feels much less stressed. They're going to say, oh, thank you. I'm not so worried about this anymore. But they also know their next steps, and they feel like they have really connected with her and they've heard her or been heard by her.
Okay, beautiful.
Excellent.
That's not about right, Cynthia?
Oh,
Okay. We
she
might
didn't like it.
She didn't like it.
She hung up on us.
You're
No,
muted, Cynthia.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Gosh, thank you so much. That was perfect, Liberty. Thank you. Beautifully said.
All right, Cynthia, let's hear you.
All right. So Jimmy Green, the amazing Jimmy Green.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait.
Jimmy.
Were you guys all in the same group?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll skip over to Jimmy Green. I'm pitching Jimmy Green. He is so full of energy. I just have to say, I love him. But anyway, what he does at the beginning is he loves to have that phone call and really connect and learn. And he likes to ask a lot of questions. And he wants to know, I was really impressed with the questions he asked. He wants to know, because we're talking about refi or we're talking about financing, how long are you going to live in this place? What's your long-term goal here? And then, how much money do you want to spend? How much money can you spend? That's what he's there for, is to help them figure all that budget stuff out. And just really get as much information as he can in that phone call so that he can start the process, because it's a very, detail-oriented process. So it's a connecting phone call that gives Jimmy everything he needs to know and hopefully helps the client understand the process. He walks them through all of that. And then, let's see, the next step is he sends out an email. Everything can be done online, although he's willing to do Zoom calls, etc. But I forgot the name of the document, but he sends out the document, the loan, maybe it's a loan application or whatever, all the information, and the client fills it out, and then Jimmy goes to work. And he pointed out, again, he doesn't get paid until the end at the close of escrow. So Jimmy all his services are free at the beginning, and he's so cheerful and happy about providing service. He's all about service. So love you, Jimmy Green.
Thank you, Cynthia. I'm gonna record that. Just put that up on the website. That's awesome. Thank you.
Oh gosh.
These are fun. All right. So I'm going to talk about Miss Liberty Worth, and we all love Miss Liberty Worth. She's fantastic. So the first thing she typically does is she vets the client in terms of what do they want, because she teaches classes and she also does individual artwork for folks. So that's usually the first question. And then she asks them what their objective is and what they want out of it. And she also asks them, if they've seen her work, because it's important for them and her to know what they've seen, what they like, and where they're going and how they want to do it. And then of course there's the discussion about what they want to do. And of course, she asked them about, what the spending plan that they've got, because, she's a quality artist. And so she deserves her money. So she asked them, what they can afford to do. And she takes notes on all this information. And then what she does is she sends a follow-up email to them with an outline of what she'll do and how it's going to work and the costs and things like that. So she's got a paper trail of everything to make sure that, all the conversations have been recorded. And what's really neat, I love, is that she'll follow up later with like a timeline of what's going on with the project. So she'll send them an update on what's going, so they can see it, so they can feel like they're part of it, and they can have feedback and things like that. So she keeps them involved. She doesn't just take the money and come back, 3 weeks later with a project. She shows them the process as she goes along. And she's of course willing to do Zoom calls and things like that. So that's Liberty Worth and what she offers in her first contact.
Beautiful. Thank you guys. All right. Love it. So John and Jim.
All right.
Well, I'll go first. Oh, go ahead, John.
Well, so we just didn't get that far. We started talking, and we didn't quite get that far. But I mean, I'll just quickly,
Hold out your hand so I can slap it.
Yeah, right. That's why I say we need about 20 minutes. We need about 20 minutes to do this.
Jimmy, remember, these two should not be together.
Right. Well, Jim probably got more on me than I did on him because, like I said, the timer went off like as we were starting to get into him. Majority of his is referrals versus people coming out of the blue or people shopping him. And he said the most of his is referrals. Obviously, his is when he gets patients. The one that we got into was somebody. Essentially, he's got to break down what's wrong with this person, and that this is about as far as we got, you guys, and that was it. Now Jim probably got a lot more on me.
He probably figured out what's wrong with you during that time.
Yeah,
that's
loaded. That's a loaded question. What's wrong with this person?
Right.
Yeah, I don't ask that, John. Please don't tell people I ask what's wrong with them.
Yeah. He probably doesn't ask what's wrong with him, but you got to find out.
I don't.
What is going on? You may not say what the hell's the matter with you, but
no, that's a big topic, actually. Well, I'd love to talk to you more about that, actually.
Like I said, we need more time, Erik. We need more time in the breakouts.
All right, well, let me tell you guys what I learned about John. Thanks, John. I'm sorry that I just kind of we got lost in the weeds a little bit and then ran out of time, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll have a chance to connect on more about what I do. But I learned a lot about how John, sort of where his clients come from. Because he's really looking. I mean, when someone calls him, often it's going to be a real estate agent. And he needs to find out how long that person's been working in real estate, how many deals they're doing, what kind of experience they have. He really wants to find someone who is going to be sort of a foundational client who's going to lead to, more business, more deals, more real estate agents. The single deal for him is not necessarily what he's looking for. In terms of clients, people who I might run into, we were talking about so who am I going to run into who I might be able to pitch you directly to? And his answer was that, when he has to be, he could either be in an office where they have, where he has a relationship with that office and they use him, or there may be someone, a real estate agent or, maybe a mortgage banker, but those people you're probably not going to have conversations. Oh, how's the title going? How's it, unless you're in the business. But for somebody like me, it's going to be more like, oh, I have this client or friend or someone I know, they're a real estate agent. They're getting into real estate. They're really good. He needs someone who's going to be good. He doesn't want a time waster who's going to just kind of use his time and not then turn around and, bring deals. But he is willing to help people who are younger and just starting out. So for me, that might be someone that I would call, but that I would have them call him, or have him call them. But most of his clients are either mortgage banks or loan officers or real estate agents. So those are the people who he's going to qualify, and he basically just wants to make sure that they're the kind of person who's going to come through.
That sound about right, John?
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Jim.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's right. John doesn't actually make a ton of money on one deal. He needs it to be an ongoing client for it to become profitable.
Yeah, it's volume. I have to
Which is
do
amazing
volume
to
one.
me because the amount of service you provide for, you know, the business that I probably ultimately give you is it's probably don't add up. You gotta do a lot of volume.
Yeah, it's all volume. One single transaction isn't gonna make me or break me. It's the volume that I need.
Yeah.
While I work with a lot of agents, from a lot of companies, and that's how I make up the volume.
So remember, it's easy with John. Just refer him your friends that are realtors. Everybody here knows probably one or two other realtors. At least all of my damn clients do. Sheesh. It's crazy. It's crazy how many people know realtors. It's crazy how many people know a realtor that is their child's best friend's parent. Jeez. Like, all right. So let us now do our commercials. And Jimmy, if you could pull up the script and let's go through that quickly. And then we will have our announcements and testimonials. So starting with the person top of my screen, Liberty.
Hey, I'm Liberty. I am an artist and art instructor. I passed on 1, maybe 2 tips this week, and you can refer me to people who are looking for inspiration, people who are maybe looking for a really great gift or to be inspired themselves with classes. For a power partner right now, I'm finding a lot of great interest with people who are professional organizers. They're going through people's closets and their homes and finding little things that they would like to commemorate, but they don't know how to hang on to in a good way. And I can turn that into art.
Beautiful. Thank you. Perfect. Jimmy, I'm going to start the timer here so you'll hear it go off. And here.
Sorry, start me over because I had to reset that page. I'm Jimmy Green with Finance of America Mortgage, and I do mortgages. How many tips I passed this week? I think I passed a couple last week. And who can you refer me? I'm looking for people that want to buy that big home. I'm looking for people that have a lot of money and are super excited about buying a home or refinancing. But I help everybody. So just know anybody that's got a home or is looking to buy a home and wants to refinance, I'll help them out. And what kind of power partner do you want? Obviously, I'm looking for a CPA. That's number one. Thank you, Jimmy Green with Finance of America.
Beautifully done. Okay, next, T.
Hi, good morning. I am Tanisha Cassie. The name of the company is TLC Construction and Drafting. Liberty and I actually passed some tips last week. She's very helpful. The type of partner that, I'm sorry, I'm reading this upside down. How can you refer me? Anyone, any person, any company who is looking to expand in terms of construction or thinking of expanding in terms of construction. My power partner would be, I'm going to maintain an interior designer.
Beautiful. An interior designer. Beautiful. All right. Next, John Chadbourne.
Morning, I'm John Chadbourne. I'm with Equity Title. My service is title insurance. How many tips did I pass? I actually have to plug a couple in for Cynthia. I think I may have passed 2 tips last week for her. How can you refer me? To real estate agents, mortgage brokers. This kind of goes with my power partner here, but real estate agents, mortgage brokers, escrow officers can direct some business. My power partner for the group would be an escrow officer. Thank you.
Beautiful. Wow. With time remaining. Okay. Next, Jim.
Good morning. I'm Jim Bloomfield. I'm an acupuncturist. I provide healthcare services of a very unique nature. So for anyone who is suffering from problems that they haven't been able to deal with their conventional care, they're taking medicines or doing other things, and they still have a multitude of issues, I untangle that for them. So anyone who's complaining about their health, I didn't pass any tips this week. My ideal power partner would be like a physical therapist or a Pilates instructor.
Look at that. We are all right on. Next, Cynthia.
I'm Cynthia Juneau of Juneau Law Offices. I'm a real estate attorney. I passed one tip last week, and you can refer nice people with legal problems. You can refer anyone with a legal problem, and I'll either pass them on to someone else or try to help them. My power partner is a CPA.
Beautiful. Plenty of time remaining. All right. And I guess the last one is me. Let me know if I've forgotten you. My name is Erik Flexner, Coldwell banker on Larchmont in Hancock Park. I'm a real estate agent. Last week, I didn't pass any tips. You can refer me to anybody who is moving, whether it's their office, whether it's their house, whether it's their apartment, doesn't matter. If they use the word move, I can probably help them. And finally, my power partner, I'd love to meet a bankruptcy attorney. Thank you very much. Right, perfect. So
I'm sorry, Erik, you did pass a tip last week to me.
I apologize. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I need to notate that in the tip wired. Okay, so what was I gonna say? Announcements and testimonials. Announcements and testimonials. Anybody?
I have one.
T, go ahead.
I have, okay. This week's testimonial goes out to Liberty. Liberty and I had a separate conversation after our meeting for a potential project that was art related. And she was able to really give me some insight on what I could potentially do to, move forward with this particular project. And if she couldn't help me, she actually referred me to some other folks who could. So I wanted to say, ever since I have been in this group, I have been able to expand on the types of projects that I can take on. And typically I don't deal with art installations and things like that, but I felt comfortable that I could take it on because I had Liberty as a resource. So I wanted to give her kudos for that. And then also on social media, as she says before, as she has always said, that she's very active. And although I'm not really big on social media and documenting all of my projects, she connected me with a bunch of other artisans around the world and all introduced us. So I want to give her kudos for that. So thank you, Liberty.
Thanks, T.
All right. Thank you so much. I have an announcement. The market is going up.
Yes.
That's my, and it's because there's not enough people selling. So there's limited supply and there's very low rates. So you can expect to see an upward tick for a while. All right. Anybody else?
I also want to say thank you to Liberty. Liberty gave me a couple tips this week. So thank you, Liberty. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad it worked out.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. And Jimmy Green too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
I just want to say thank you for all the referrals I continue to receive from you at various times. I'm just so grateful to be in this group, and I hope I can continue to provide value. I love doing that, and thank you all so much. I can't help everyone who comes to me, but I'm so grateful that you all think of me as often as you do, and I love helping people.
Beautiful. Cynthia, you have impacted the way I look at my business. You probably don't know. And that is, when we first met a year ago, it's almost a year ago, well, 6 months ago or so, you would say, like you always say, I want to meet nice people. And I always thought, well, why is she, narrowing her prospects there. And then why? So I've been doing this very heavy duty hour-and-a-half coaching in real estate ever since then. And what I'm learning is I also only want to work with nice people, and the coaching that I'm learning is how to identify, many things about them, but specifically, are they nice people? Because if they're not nice people, I'm going to have to say thank you and gently say, can't, I'm sorry, but I can't help you. Because, those are the people, the not nice people, are the ones who take up your entire business if you let them. And they may or may not know that they're doing that. They're just being themselves, but it really does impact your ability to help everyone and everyone else if you're being bogged down by that. So I really appreciate you always saying, I want nice people, because that is what we want. That is what we want.
And Erik, thank you so much. Erik, I haven't told you, I don't think, that you and I are, we are so on the same wavelength. You referred me to a coach, and I've been working with that coach ever since. And that coaching is changing my life changing me on like a cellular level. I cannot even explain the quantum leaps in just personal growth from that referral. So I cannot say thank you enough. Thank you, Erik. We're on the same vibration.
That's
Sounds
wonderful.
so woo-woo for business, but it is great. It's great.
That's wonderful to hear. I don't know about you guys, but I get a little kick of joy when I hear that some connection I've made has worked out, between two people. I've introduced somebody and then they're off, having a successful relationship now. I love it when I'm the conduit. So I appreciate you telling me that. I did not know that. And if anybody else wants to meet a business coach or a life coach or anything like that, I know a lot of them, so I can refer you to the right kind. They're all different. All right. Anybody else?
Well, all that said is really nice, because that makes me think of how Jimmy gave me a great referral that I'm sort of in the limbo waiting for, but I'm pretty excited. It could be a real potential wonderful thing for me to do. So I'm very excited. I wanted to say thank you, Jimmy. If it's a teaching gig that's a ongoing thing, I'm really excited about that. And I think my interaction with T was so fun, because what she was like asking me about, I was like, I literally have no idea how to help you with this, but I racked my brain for a while. And then in the end, I realized that through my museum project, I did know someone who could work at that kind of scale. And so I got in contact with that lady, and she immediately was like, oh, I could totally do this. And then by the way, while we were just talking, she ended up just making a real small purchase from me. So I was like, T, I kind of got a finder's fee out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, Liberty and I was like, Liberty, how can you be involved? Because I want you involved in some way or another. She was just so gracious, and she ended up getting something that was great.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, and then BJ's maybe possibly moving down the hall from me, so that's also fun. So she may end up being having a studio right next to mine.
Wow, that's cool. Where is your studio?
It's at 6th and Western. We're just one block north of the Wiltern.
Oh, okay, cool. Very cool. Boy, you've got some good restaurants around there.
Yeah.
No lack of good lunch places.
Right, once they open.
Yeah. Right. All right.
Hey, I want to mention one thing real quick. You guys are talking about this. We're at the beginning of the call. We were talking about selling our group here, and people are talking about growing your business. But what I'm hearing here is it's also personal growth. It's good people. It's connection. So just keep that in mind when you're out there pitching us to people. It's like, it's not just about business. It's about, helping each other out and support and things like that. I mean, and guys, everything I hear and every conversation I've ever been on has always been beneficial, not just from a business standpoint, but personal. And I think everybody needs that connection, especially on Zoom right now. So that's a way to pitch the group. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Erik.
And there's a lot of people who can't be on a 7 a.m. Zoom call. It's just not in their DNA. There's a lot of people like that. That doesn't mean that there aren't some people who absolutely are waiting for you to invite them. some people, this is a no-brainer. You just need to ask them to join. And so don't take, it personal, or don't let it get you down if somebody says no, or they're just not, or they say yes and then they don't show up. A lot of people just can't follow through on that, and that doesn't mean that there aren't a lot of people out there who are just waiting for you to call them and invite you to this group. All right, T. T.
Uh-oh. I have one. Sorry, I was frozen for a second. I have one more testimonial. Jimmy Green and I had an interaction. He called me with perhaps a tip, and I thought that I had a tip for him. But beside the tip in our conversation, his last question to me was, "Hey, how do you describe me when you're referring me to, or when you're having conversations with other people?" And that really stood out because I was put on the spot. I had to recall from our meetings what it is that, or how I would refer him. But it really made me think and say, well, okay, I have to continue to remember how I would bring this person up in a conversation. So I thought that was a great reminder for when we're having conversations with other LATIP members outside of our meeting, to just kind of reinforce, how would you describe me? Because I don't think any of us can really be put in one box. There's a lot of, sorry, I know, Erik, I see you turning your head this way. I must still be sideways. But I really enjoyed that conversation. So I'm glad I got it right, Jimmy.
Thank you. That was a wonderful conversation. And I was also going to pitch that too, is that, I just called T up to have that discussion about, how I can pitch her and how she can pitch me. And it was a great conversation. And I highly recommend that, you guys, because, like John said, hey, 5 minutes on his little, breakout rooms is not enough. Feel free to call somebody up and say, hey, let's talk about how we can help each other out. We had a great conversation. It was fun.
Yeah, that was really good.
Beautiful. Anybody else? So next week, is there anybody who would like to speak or do a showboating presentation? Raise your hand if there is. Jimmy?
I want a showboat.
Okay, Jimmy, you'll be showboater. Anybody want to give a 5-minute speech on their business? Remember, it doesn't just help us know about you, it helps you know about you.
You say a 25-minute speech?
I'm not offering those today, John. Anybody else? Okay.
If it's a plug, when John gave his, I was like, oh, I can do that. So he got business that day from it.
Awesome. Remember, John just needs to meet realtors. Okay, Jimmy, we'll do showboating, and then we'll decide we might want to do a different kind of breakout or something else on top of that. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Any last comments for the good of the order? All right.
For the good of the order. I'm going to be in Arizona next week, but I think I'll be able to be here. I'll just be in a different location.
You might be an hour ahead, right?
Oh, I've got to figure that out. Hello. Okay. I think I'll be here though.
All righty. Hey, it was great seeing you all. Have a freaking kick-ass week.
All right.
Kick ass, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.